Do you want to show her right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Show Lisa what you made for her.
Oh my gosh, you're like Picasso.
Tell her what it is. You go ahead and get in the mic and tell her what it is.
Okay, first off, let me say one thing, Collins. This is so stupid, but you filled in every space. That's literally a sign that you're a genius. That's literally a good sign. It really is. I promise you. You're an amazing artist.
This is your house. This is a snow leopard coming into your house.
Cool.
I'm going to send this to you.
I'm going to frame it and put it in my house. That is so.
Okay, Collins, you tell me that there was one question you wanted to ask Lisa. Do you remember what it was?
Are you going to have any more babies?
Collins, I'm waiting for your mom to have more babies. That ship has sailed for me. I put in my time. I put in my effort. I tried hard for a girl. 4 boys. Enjoy.
Welcome to Your Mom. Your Mom Podcast. Your Mom's Podcast.
This isn't any podcast. This is your mother's podcast.
My Mom's Podcast.
Nah, dude, she's your mom.
With Ashley Addison and Lisa McCaffrey.
Your mom is a podcast.
Shut up, dude.
Welcome back, everybody, or welcome to, we should say, Your Mom. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Happy 2023.
I can't even believe we made it to 2023. That seemed unlikely. But here we are, 2023. I'm Ashley Adamson, a sports broadcaster with 2 young children in San Francisco, and my better half on this podcast, Lisa McCaffrey, the one and only, Stanford educated. And to me,
Stanford's like regretting that decision right now. Like, can we resend her?
Nope. You got it. You got that diploma, baby.
Damn straight. I should put that right here. I should put
my
diploma right here in the back. Yeah. It's actually, you know where it is? It's in my laundry room.
What? So you remember when you're doing laundry?
I can do laundry really well. Yeah. It's like, as I fold 25 million pieces of clothing, I have that degree up there.
I can speak English because I have a degree that proves it from Stanford.
But let me fold this 3rd load of laundry today.
But yes, not to digress. The most fabulous McCaffrey in a family full of superstars is how I like to describe you. You've got 4 boys, the most famous of which, of course, is Christian McCaffrey in his 6th year in the NFL, traded to the 49ers this season, which seems like a long time ago. Yes, after we manifested it and talked to Peggy Shanahan. And that has gone well. They've won, 9 in a row, and they're set up for the playoffs. A win this weekend, I believe, would get them the number 2 spot in the playoffs, if I'm not wrong, in the NFC.
So I think they have the 2 spot, but I think if we won and the Eagles lost, we could potentially be number 1. So,
all right. Well, I can't wait. And I'm going to go to that game with you.
Yes, not the Eagles. You're not flying out for the Eagles game.
No, I'm not flying to the Eagles game.
You're not going to fly out there to put a hex on them, right? You're going to fly out. You're going to drive.
I can do all of my witchcraft hexing from San Francisco.
Perfect.
So I will do my witchcraft on the Eagles from here, and then I'll drive down.
We are going to be together at the game, and that is going to be a blast. And I cannot wait. We should do a recording from the stands or from wherever we're sitting.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's good. We should go live. We should do live from.
Ooh, easy.
Yeah, Your Mom live. Easy.
Now I got to pick out a cute outfit.
Yeah, you always do.
All about the outfit.
You always do. Everything is about the outfit. Okay, so let's start New Year's.
It's a New Year's, a brand new year, ready, new beginnings, new positive, good beginnings. Let's go. 2023.
Do you have, before we get to all the positivity and what we're going to manifest for this year, I just have to be honest, like the new year makes me a little bit, every year, the week between Christmas and New Year's, I don't know if it's that I'm off like the Christmas hangover or that I don't know what it is, but I feel a little sad. I'm not going to lie. There's like a little bit of sadness or something that comes with the new year. And I can't put my finger on what it is.
Anxious. I get like an anxiety almost because you don't know what to do with your time. Like, are you on vacation or are you not? Like it's a confusing time, or like things are closed, but like they're not. You don't have that because before Christmas, it's like a whirlwind. You're like presents, wrapping, meals, and everything, traveling, everything. It's just and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, it ended. But then there's another holiday on the horizon. Like, are you working? Are you not? It's a kind of a anxious time.
It's a weird time.
Right. But it's good you realize that so that maybe next year you think, okay, you know what? That week I'm going to prepare for the new year. I'm going to, sit down and write some goals or just, reflect on the past, look forward to the future, However, remain in the present.
You are so wise.
So wise.
This is why you're my better half.
And I
on
would
this
say
podcast.
beyond my years, but I'm old, so
you are wise. Period.
Yeah.
And
no, I don't know.
What
it
you
sounds
said,
better.
though, Lisa, I think you just said one of the words that I think is so critical, because the new year is all about, okay, the new me. What are we going to do this year? What are my goals?
20 million
But
pounds.
I think reflecting is one of the most important things. And we don't ever take times in our lives to reflect enough. I think that's honestly one of the gifts of this podcast, is that it allows me to, when things happen, I'm like, oh, I like write things down, or I try to remember things more, and I'm able to reflect, because we're talking about different things that happen obviously in our lives and with parenting. But I think reflecting is so important. And there was a woman, a friend of mine, who just started her own little business. And I was talking to her the other day, and she was saying, yeah, I don't feel, I'm like kind of bummed about the new year and all of those feelings, like maybe the holiday blues. And she goes, I just feel like it's another year and I haven't done anything. And I was like, hey, full stop. Understand what you have created in the past year. And if like 3 years ago, if you had told yourself that you were doing what you're doing right now, you would be so proud of yourself, and you have made all of this progress. And so it's easy when it happens incrementally. It's like the frog getting boiled. Like, you don't realize sometimes the progress that that was a bad analogy, but you know what I mean?
I'm confused. Wait, why is the frog?
You don't know, the frog getting boiled?
No.
It's like when you put a frog in cold water and slowly start to boil the water, the frog doesn't realize that it's being boiled. It was a bad analogy.
Wow. I'm not a sadist, but
I'm not wise. Yeah. I told you about my witchcraft.
I didn't know you were boiling animals and whatnot. I thought this was going to be a nice new year. What the heck? When did it turn to boiling frogs?
A new year, but still the same old, I can't keep a thought on the track. Same old Ashley.
Still, maiming animals. Yeah. Okay, easy,
still
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Just these lapses in my brain that pop up every now and then. Point being, as I said to my friend, it is so important to step back and realize how far you've done. And I will say the one thing that kept me from feeling kind of the anxiety and sadness that comes with whatever it is, the year or the week before New Year's leading up, was just thinking about this podcast and what we have done this year. And it hasn't been perfect. And there's a million things that we always say, oh, we should do this, and I wish we had time to do this. But we are doing it. And so for anyone out there who has an idea that you've wanted to do, like, go
do it.
Freaking do the thing.
Take a tiny step in the forward.
Yes.
Take a tiny little step in whatever it is. Start there. Just start. Just start.
Yep. Because here's the key. Here's the key. And I've done all this research, and I'm such a big believer in this. I've read a lot about it. You wait to get motivated. You cannot wait to get motivated. Action is actually what leads to motivation. So I'll start off by saying that. I guess my next question is, are you big on New Year's resolutions?
No, I used to be, but I'm like, I think they're kind of trite. Like, just calm down a little bit. Like, oh, I'm going to, and I do like the fact that people look at it as like a new start and a new beginning, and you can start something new, but let's calm down with like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And I don't know. I'd rather just started like, okay, I'm going to try to, have a nice healthy routine, those type of things. I don't know. I would just thought, hey, I'm sure this is everybody's, but just try to be more present. I'm not having any whopping New Year's resolutions, but that probably sounds trite too. But anyway, that's just
right. And the only reason I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at your resolution to be more
fine. No, everybody does.
I am laughing because I am, that is also one of mine. I want to just be, I want to like actually enjoy and be in the moment and be present with my kids
as well.
I'm laughing because Collins, my son, who just gave you all that artwork, he just came in, and I am talking about being more present with my kids. And that's one of the things I want to do. And here I am recording a podcast and like shooing him away.
Nice.
Well, Collins, did you need something, buddy?
Mommy's recording.
Go color something downstairs.
I need some paper.
Okay. Help yourself. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm so present here with you, though. Know that I'm with you downstairs in my heart. I love you. He just smiled at me, so I think we're good. See, I'm already doing it. I'm so present for my children in the new year. Wow. Nailing it.
Mom of the year already. Yep. That's
Love
great.
that
now go away. Mommy's recording.
Also, why are they not back in school yet? That's the other thing. I got to write some petitions. They've been off for however long. So I don't know. I think anyway, he's going to go do some more artwork downstairs.
Sweet. Okay,
but I like that being present and actually trying to like embrace those I always talk about them as precious moments, like identifying those moments that happen in your life that you're like, oh, we're at dinner with everyone, or I'm just in this like precious little, I'm driving, I think all the time. And you said it on a podcast earlier, and now I think about it a lot. So thank you. The time in the car with my kids is just,
precious.
it's precious.
You'll never get
really
that back.
Is.
Yeah,
Yes.
you won't. No, I know.
As soon as they know how to drive, I'm never going to be, it's never going to be the three of us driving to school and doing jokes and being silly and whatever.
Right. And listening to music, whatnot. Yeah. Those are, that my kids talk about like various things that happened during those times to this day. And it's so fun. It's like, oh, wow, it wasn't that bad. Cause I remember just being so negative sometimes. Like I have to drive all where and for what? And don't forget this. And half the time we get halfway there. I forgot my cleats. Luke was yesterday. How many times did he forget one cleat or like the right color jersey or whatever? That happens so many times.
All the time. All the time.
That's part of growing up. That's part of being a kid.
They are those precious moments. So I'm with you on that. I think being like present and appreciating.
One other not dumb, but one thing, this is my idea. We grabbed Ed and I, just because we're home a lot together now. We grabbed a jar and just once a week, we have to put in something that we're thankful for, appreciative of. And we pop a thing. Hi, Collins. Hi.
What's up, bud?
Get the kids the paper.
Okay. Color right there. That sounds like a great plan.
Yes. Nothing will make me happy.
Thanks for letting me know. Perfect. Wait, go back to this because I just texted. Did you email me that on Instagram or did you send me that on Instagram? This idea. So Jay Shetty.
That's exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's where I got it.
I sent that to Chris and said, I want to do this. And he said, yes. Yeah. So
we started doing it.
And so it's every week. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah,
you
at
write
least once a week, but we gave each other carte blanche to do several other times if having a very appreciative week or whatever. And so we just started doing that. And then and then at the end of the year, or if you're feeling down, maybe you can go back and open them and look at them. So I did. And is it things that happened
to you? Can you give me an example of one that you
really be any like the first day? Don't tell Ed because we're not supposed to tell each other. But he. First of the year, he made me breakfast. It was really sweet. We woke up from New Year's, and we were just kind of lounging around trying on purpose, having a lazy day. It was the Niner game too. So that morning, he knows that possibly I might every now and then get a little grumpy if I don't eat for too long. So possibly just a little. Anyway, he made me these awesome eggs and some toast. And I was very appreciative of that. And he made them very nicely. So anyway, so I wrote that in.
Great.
And then of course, like we're not competitive or anything, but he has like 5 things in there already. I'm like, dude, it's once a week. Calm down. Let's calm the F down just a smidge.
Of course it becomes a competition.
Yeah. It's like, now it's a competition. Yeah. I was just
I'm so okay. Now I'm fully back inspired because I sent that to Chris and he's like, I'm in, but we of course haven't done it.
Oh, he was in. Good. Have your kids do it too. Even if they tell you write it down. And what we did is we did, it was a little sticky note and we have a different color for each of us. So I'm like the pink one. He's the yellow one.
And then on New Year's Eve or whenever, like at the end of the year, you open them back up and you go through them and you get to relive all of these things that you will forget.
Just
that happened that you're thankful for, and you realize how full that how full that year was. I think.
Do you remember? It is. No, it is. Do you remember where you were New Year's a year ago? Yes. See how
I should. Oh, I do because it was. I'm always usually either home or in LA of getting ready to cover the Rose Bowl,
or drunk on some random stranger's sofa.
Exactly right. Yep. Oh, it's just like confetti in my hair and all that. No, I usually am in LA. Last year we did not travel to go to the Rose Bowl. Okay. And so I was home, and Chris and I usually just like watch the, CNN coverage. I love Anderson Cooper and although they didn't drink as much this year on the air, which was
I know.
I don't know. Anyway. But then I worked, I usually work all day on New Year's. Right. This year I worked late on New Year's Eve and then was flying down to LA to cover the Rose Bowl the next day. So I got home and was just like a shell of a human. And Chris and I think I fell asleep. We tried to have a glass of wine and I think I fell asleep on the couch. So, I wouldn't say New Year's is like all that riotous, but it is when you realize, when you step back and you're like, wait, what did I do last year? I don't even remember. Where were you last year?
Last year, a year ago, we were in Carolina with everybody, all the kids. And it was great. We were all together, but I just remembered, it seems like 10 years ago though.
Yeah. Well, think of all that has happened.
I know. No, so much. My gosh, so much has happened in a year.
I know. And so many great things too,
Right.
Like there's always hard things, but there's
good and bad, like life. It's life. But a lot has happened. Oh my gosh. No, it's been a whirlwind. No, it's been wonderful. It's wonderful.
Life keeps going forward. There's no doubt about it.
Life keeps moving and keeps moving forward. It does. It absolutely does. Doesn't stop for anyone. So
yeah, that's true. I talked about being present, and that's a big thing. Last year, I was thinking about Yogi Roth, who is a dear friend and colleague of mine who you know. He has always been, instead of New Year's resolutions, he always talks about having like a word that you're going to focus on and have that be the theme, which I think is great because it allows you, again, it's about being present and grounded and all those things. And this year, I think I just want to, and I don't know that there's a word, maybe you can help me since you're more better educated than I am. A word that is about like, I keep thinking about flow. Like I want the things, sometimes we push so hard and are like grinding so hard to make things happen. There is so much good out in the universe. I just want this year to be being able to be present and recognize it and then just like let it flow. Like
don't try to control it, right?
I mean, there's a lot of change coming for me in the next year with the Pac-12 situation and my job and where we may be, where we might not be. And so I just think that I'm going to try to like be way more sort of open and accepting to whatever is coming and not try to feel so like, I got to make this happen and I got to force this and I got to grind here, So I've got a lot of good stuff and I just want to enjoy it and be present for it. So that's I don't know if there's a better word. I don't know if there's a word.
No, that's perfect. I think that's actually, I think that's wonderful. I think that I see good things happening with that word in you.
Good. I like that. All right. Whew.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I love that.
I was just thinking about, okay, so for this podcast, like this show, what do we want to have it be in the new year? Because it has been the best thing that we did last year that I did. It was that we were able to finally just get this up and running.
Right.
And it was
paralysis by analysis. Exactly. At one point we were micromanaging and like overanalyzing. We were like, and we had great advice from several people. They were like,
several people, including your husband, Ed, who just said, you guys gotta just start and you'll figure it out.
And just do it. But it's true. And that was the best thing we could have done. And then you tweak it. You're like, okay, this isn't working. This is working. Let's, keep doing this, nix this, whatever it is. And I thought we did a pretty good job. I think we're doing pretty good.
I think so too. And I think pat, because again, back to just anybody who you're talking about doing something, just go do it, start, and it will sort itself out. So yes, exactly. And so when I think about what the point of starting this podcast was, and for those of our listeners who have been through the beginning, know what we're trying to accomplish here. But as we empower moms and hear stories of all these amazing women who have raised extraordinary people, want to continue to do that. But I also think there's like a 2.0 for 2023. And your mom's bucket list is to me, and hear me out on this. It started with you going skydiving.
Okay.
And that was such a random thing, right? Like that was a random confluence of events that you all of a sudden had this opportunity. It was brave as hell.
Talk about flow, because I never manifest that. I never even thought about doing it. I actually had, and I always said, I have no desire to do it. I remember saying that like a couple weeks prior, we were talking about somebody skydived and I'm like, I don't have any, that's not one of my bucket list things. And then
how random is that? Yeah.
So random. And then flow organically fell into my lap and happened and I did it.
And you said yes, because you were open to it. And it would have been very easy to say, great idea, but no, thank you.
Right.
So I think because this show is about empowering moms and making sure that their story is told and that their story matters, and hearing so much about what they did or didn't do behind the scenes to help, like set their children up for success, how they handled then that success as a family, the dynamic with the siblings, all of that. But what has really stood out to me is how much moms appreciate sharing their stories. I feel like all of them, when we talk to them ahead of time, they're like, I couldn't possibly talk for 45 minutes. Right. I don't have enough interesting things to say. And then we're going on 90 minutes and I'm like, oh God, we got to wrap this up.
Oh no, isn't it? Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing to me. And so it's about like knowing that your story matters and we're here to honor those stories. Right. And we will continue to do that. But for this next iteration, thank you. That's just something that you don't need to eat. I'm glad I have it. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I've got it. Thanks for giving it to me. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, bud.
What we're going to do is just watch you parent for the year 2023.
How am I doing?
Here and judge you. Did you look him? Did you make him feel good about himself just now?
I think he felt seen. I think he just felt seen.
And heard. I'm
giving me the same from his marker package that I just got him. Yeah. It's one of those things that just says, don't eat this. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. You can just keep talking about what a good parent I am.
We're going to watch you. We're going to have a live feed of you parenting, and we're just going to sit here and like write like messages to you. Like, oh, that wasn't a great
That wasn't so good.
I think that was nice. I think he was seen and heard there. Yeah.
Your voice got a little bit loud on that last one. Yeah. How did you control your temper in that moment, Ashley?
Put the alcohol down and then continue.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So back to the point, which is empowering moms and helping these women find themselves again. Because
right.
Sonia Curry is the one who just keeps coming up to my mind of just when she is in this beautiful space in her life, and she was so. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I encourage you to go listen to it because she was inspiring to me. Like
okay. And can I tell you something that happened to me?
Yeah.
I have a really good friend of mine who just had a hardship about a year ago. And she's been listening to our podcast. Shout out. I don't want to say her name in case she doesn't know, but I love her. She's I've known her forever. Our kids has grown up together, and she's amazing. Anyway, she's at a stage of her life. She's like at a crossroads, and she's trying to figure her life out. Yeah. And she's been a mom for all these years. She's been taken care of in a beautiful way. And now all of a sudden she's on her own. And she's trying to figure out what she wants to do. And she listened to the Sonia Curry, and she called me and was like, help me get to where Sonia is, because Sonia seems to have it together. And how did she start over? How is she starting over? And she's looking to do that too. And I was just, I don't even have all the answers, but we just kind of talked through it, and we're supposed to go to lunch here in a little bit. So I can't wait.
You know what that is? I love that. And my heart is with your friend, because I think it's one of those things that the most important thing that you first need to do is identify, like, hey, I want to,
That's what I told her.
Version of me
I said that. I go, this is so amazing that you're realizing this and that you want to do something. That's the first step. And then I think I like our idea of just taking a little step, a baby step. And I kind of said that. We were trying to figure out what, I mean, she's at a beautiful place in a way, because she can do whatever she wants.
Yep.
But she needs to figure out what she wants.
What that is.
Find herself. And find within herself what she wants to. Her kids are all older, and they're all doing great. They're all on their own. And so now she's finding, like, what do I do now? What do I do with my own space and my own time? So
I gave everything I had for so long to my family. And now, just like Sonia said, she's like rediscovering herself again. And she's like, I realized I like to be around fun people. I like to go do things. I like to, I'm a fun person. And there was part of that was dormant for so long because I was raising kids and was strict and had all of these, and she talked about it, like all these rules and all these things that she was trying to, you're in survival mode.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And she's letting go of that and rediscovering herself. I thought about her actually Thanksgiving and Christmas, because do you remember the Thanksgiving she gave up with her family, and she went like almost on a retreat by herself where they don't talk a lot and they eat really.
She almost left.
And she almost left, and she
stayed and she said it was life changing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's even something like that for your friend. I mean, I think it's like
when my hand was knee deep in that turkey, like shoving up stuffing. I'm like, God, I kind of admire Sonia Curry right now. I want to be her. I have grease on my face.
It would be so nice to be on a retreat where no one was talking and no one was allowed to talk for 3 days.
That doesn't sound so bad right about now.
It sounds perfect. But I do think, to this exact point, is that in order to, I think, find yourself again and to remember who you are. And by the way, you talk about precious moments and precious time. Like, we don't know how much time we have. Okay. So we always think there's going to be more time to do those things.
Right.
But what I am asking, like you and I to do, I'm going to ask the women that we have on this podcast, and anyone who is a listener, mom or not, like, what are some of the bucket list items, big or small, that you haven't gotten around to? Yeah. And the most important thing is that you got to write them down first. Chris and I did this exercise maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And you write down 50 things you want to do before you die.
Right. I love it. Yeah. You sent me the list of suggestions, which is great. And some of them appealed to me and some of them didn't. But that's what it has to be. What do you want to do? Find yourself.
Yeah. And they can be simple. Like, it's something as simple as, I want to, there was actually the way that this all kind of got going in my brain was when I was flying back. We went to Switzerland to visit my brother for Christmas. And I'm flying back on the airplane. I know. I feel like as soon as I started to say that sentence, I'm like, there's no way to not say
Switzerland. I just spent Christmas in the Alps. Okay. That's nice.
I suck.
Right.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I know. My brother's the best. I just happen to have the best brother and sister-in-law of all time. That's the only reason I get to
You just mooched off.
That is true. But I saw on Twitter that this reporter had said, for any woman over 40, I want to hear from you. We're doing this first time series for our readers. And I want to know what you've always wanted to do that you've never done. And we're going to help you do it. And we're going to do part of the series. So I was thinking like we should, and some of it was simple. Like I was looking at some of the responses and she got thousands of responses. Like it was unbelievable how many women replied to this and she had to cut it off. But she said, wow, there were so many from like, there was one woman that said, I've always wanted to go to a bar by myself.
Oh my gosh, me too. I've always wanted to do that.
You've never gone to a bar by yourself?
Nope. And I have come this close to doing it so many times.
Lisa McCaffrey, we are going to make that happen sooner rather than later. I'm telling you. And I think part of it is because I travel by myself.
You hold my hand to the door.
I'll watch you from outside. I'll be outside with binoculars, like in a tree, making sure that you're like being treated well. And
oh my gosh, that's a bucket list for me. I've always wanted to do that. And I've almost done it.
Go sit at the bar and you will meet so many people.
Totally. And just talk to people. Yeah.
Yes.
Even at airports, I've never done it. I'm always like too scared to. Yeah.
Oh my God. I highly recommend.
Because you do it daily, right? You do that basically daily.
That's pretty much my entire existence is going to a bar by myself. So I've got a lot of great tips. I'm happy to pass those along.
Okay, good.
So from going to a bar by yourself, like exactly, to traveling by yourself, I think that's another one that I've always thought about. Of like, I've always wanted to take a trip by myself and never had the balls to.
I've done that but for football games. I've done that a lot, but I guess I don't know if that counts. But I guess it does.
But it does. I think it does. But like to go on something just for you, like to go, like the retreat that Sonia went on, the yoga retreat, whether it's a yoga retreat or a meditation retreat, whatever. Yeah. So I think that when you are wondering and like, okay, what are some things? And if you haven't written them down, go write them down because you'll be amazed at the things big and small. But I was thinking we should put them into 3 buckets. And one of the things I was also thinking about is that the very first thing that we should do on our bucket list tour this year should involve our moms. Oh. So is there anything that you've always wanted to do with Betty that you haven't done?
Well, my mom loves to travel and she's traveled all over the world. She had a friend for a while that was a travel agent. And so she took some pretty amazing trips. And the one thing we've never done that she had lined up for us, she always gives each kid that graduates from high school a trip. She actually had it lined up, but because of football, we weren't able to do it. But she had this beautiful trip. It was a safari in Africa. And we basically weren't able to do it. Me and Ed and 2 of the boys, the younger 2, when they graduated, and we weren't able to do it. How awful is that? Because of stupid football. And I regret that. And I would like to redeem that and have all of us go.
Well,
is that too much? Is that too big?
I don't think, there's no such thing as too big. In 2023, but what's amazing about that is that on my bucket list that I was looking back on that I made with Chris was that I've always wanted to go on a vacation with just my mom, which I've never done before. Like my mom and I've done all sorts of different types of things, but I've never just the 2 of us, I guess. Wow. Well, I guess that's not totally true. When I studied abroad, when I was in college, she came over and visited me and we went to visit my uncle for Easter in London, which was amazing. But as an adult, I've never gone on a trip with her.
The 2 of you gone somewhere. Yeah.
And so we are going to make it happen this year. I'm going to go on a trip with her this year and I'm super excited about it. But I do think those are the types of things.
4 of us went. The 4 of us should go.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we could, and you and Betty could even come out here and we could go to wine country or something like that. It doesn't have to be anything. That would be fun too. So I just think when you think about all the things that you want to do and the things that you think you're always going to get around to, and you don't know how much quality time you have left with people who you love. So thinking about who are those people in your life who you want to do something with, who you still can do something with. So I was thinking of putting it though in kind of like 3 different categories. So something big like skydiving, taking a trip by yourself, taking your mom on a trip, whatever that is. Something small. I don't want to say something small because obviously it's important because it's something you've always wanted to do, but something that you could do or sign up for tomorrow. And I loved when we first talking about, I've always wanted to take a writing class. You were saying you've always wanted to take an improv class.
I would love to take
I'm putting that out in the world because I think you would be so good.
It would be so fun. I know. I would love to try. Just try. It would be that.
Out of your comfort zone.
I thought that is really out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And I love the writing class idea too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Just again, because it's something that you're like using a different part. We get into these ruts and
Right.
it's this,
Right.
I feel like sometimes my life is this like constant, like spin cycle of,
You have
cleaning
to
out
be
lunch
here. You
boxes,
have to be,
making
yeah.
dinner, doing laundry, getting up, getting the kids ready for school, making more lunches, dropping off for school, going to work, trying to like, it's just, it becomes this, you get
Yeah.
stuck in this cycle, which
Stuck.
is fine. Like you get, but just do something that is a little bit out of your comfort zone, a little bit out of your wheelhouse. This podcast is certainly an example of that. By the way, I did say starting my own like something, whether it was a show or a podcast or a blog was on my list. So I'm glad that I can check that one off now.
Perfect.
Because that was on my list from a while ago. But I think that something that you can just say, okay, I'm going to sign up for that tomorrow. Maybe I'm not going to start tomorrow, but I'm going to take a step that's going to do that thing for tomorrow. So something big, something very attainable that you could do like immediately. And then the third thing I would say for people who are going to do this along with us, something altruistic. So philanthropy focus. Like I've always, Lisa,
I'm out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you lost me at altruism.
I'm out. No, I just want the trips.
Yeah, just want the trips and the spas. But I've always talked about and have never done it, serving meals on Thanksgiving. Like I've always thought, okay, we're going to go, let's go do some, and just the year comes around and all of a sudden you're making plans and you've got all these different things in motion and who's hosting it. And then we never do it. So it's that type of thing that like, isn't that hard to make happen. And I think is really important to do with your kids, especially when they're younger.
Right.
So that's going to be one of my goals for this year.
That is a good goal. And I love that goal. I think that's phenomenal. It's a great thing and a great example for your kids, but you can also not do it on Thanksgiving, do it like during the year.
Good point. You don't have to wait.
Right.
You don't have to wait. Exactly.
Once a month, maybe, or once a week if you have time, but you probably don't have that time, but
no, but you know what, like honestly, I've got a lot going on, but like what, at the end of the day, we all end up doing is that we focus on what is urgent and not what is important.
Right.
And I think that is something that I, in 2023, want to get better at, of like, what is the big stuff that actually matters at the end of the day, as opposed to checking off. There's always going to be more on your list of things that you're supposed to be doing. But what's the stuff that matters? Like go take 2 hours and go. I delivered like 2 years ago. I signed up and did this like meal delivery thing where I went and delivered groceries. And it was so fulfilling. Like it was very fulfilling. And have I done it since? No. So I'm like calling myself out on that for now. So it's just about committing to it, doing it and just making time for it. Cause you're never going to just have time.
Right.
So
especially with you at all those bars. Especially
I know.
If you hang out
that's the thing.
By yourself. It's hard to get to,
find out.
Homeless
this
shelter.
Is good. This is the intersection.
Maybe they could open up a bar at a homeless shelter. Bam. Win-win.
And I could serve. Yeah. That somehow that doesn't seem like exactly what a homeless shelter needs. But maybe there's something I could do like that would be, like maybe I could start knitting or something and go to the bar and knit scarves for people or something. I'm going to keep spitballing on that. We'll keep brainstorming.
There's a tie in there. I feel it. I sense it. Something that'll make you keep coming back. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, have you done any like community service based or like just anything even small that you're like, oh, that felt really good. And you realize how making time and space for something like that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gone and served, same thing, served like the homeless down in Denver several times. I mean, not consistently, which I'm embarrassed to say, but yes, we've done it several times. And it always is. You feel so good after, and it's so neat. It's so amazing to hear people's stories. You hear people's stories and how they got to this point, which, it's sad. It's sad. And some people have had some horrible things, and it puts life in perspective. It makes you appreciate it.
It does put life in perspective. And back to the original point that we talked about at the beginning of making sure that one of the most important things that anyone can do is making sure that they understand that every person's story matters. And no matter where you are in your life, like everybody has a story and their story matters. So listening to people's stories, I think is a love language unto its own.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've never pursued, but now that we're talking about this, I may have to pursue it, is I always have had a soft heart for kids that are kids that don't have parents.
Yeah.
Like, and especially teens or some older kids that that people don't necessarily look to adopt. Like those kids. I've always wanted to help work with kids
in foster care and foster situations. Exactly. Yes. No, I think that helping kids who don't have the help that they need, that is truly the most vulnerable subset of the population, right? Like the
exactly
kids who
right.
don't have a voice, don't have the ability, and
it's not their fault, and they're stuck in these situations.
Okay, well, then I think that would be. We'll do some recon, and we're going to figure out. But I'm saying it on a podcast now, so I hold us accountable for
when we manifest
we want to do for ourselves and things that we want to do for other people. I think that to me is what I hope we can accomplish in this 2.0 iteration of Your Mom in 2023.
Yep. And contact either of us if there's somebody out there that can help us do this, or if there's a need out there. And because if
you have an idea, if you have an idea, if you work for an organization, if you're part of something that hey, needs help, whether it's locally in San Francisco or in Colorado where Lisa is, or virtually, like, please let us know. And we do want to hear from you guys. That was going to be the thing. Yeah. Whether it's in the comment section on our YouTube channel, whether it's on Twitter at Adamson Ashley, at least
knock on Ashley's door.
You can go knock on my door. I'm not going to give out my address just yet.
Local bar.
Or find me at the local bar.
Go tell them where we can reach.
I do. Yeah. So at Lisa McCaffrey 6, right, on Twitter. Email your mom podcast at gmail.com is probably the easiest way. Email your mom podcast at gmail.com. We'll put those in the show notes so that you guys don't have to write them down or remember them. But the other thing I want to do as we wrap this up, one thing I want to start doing in 2023 on our show is a shout out of the week.
Oh yeah.
To a mom or to someone that deserves it. Yep. So my shout out of the week is
thank you. Oh, never mind.
Is not to you.
It's definitely not to me. Not this week.
Maybe next week. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
No, my shout out of the week is to so my friend and coworker Ryan Anderson. His Grammy, 82-year-old Marla, is apparently a diehard, lifelong Niner fan. Her grandkids all got her a McCaffrey jersey for Christmas. We're showing that the picture is amazing. The picture is, she's adorable.
Love it.
Apparently she gets so stressed out during games that she has this old stuffed Niners bear that she squeezes as hard as she can when she's nervous.
I love her. She sounds like Grammy, me, for real.
That's what I said. I'm like, Ryan's telling me about her. I'm like, Grammy, she sounds amazing. I'm not sure if that bear made it through the Raiders game last weekend.
I know. Oh my gosh, that overtime game. Sorry, Grammy. I wish.
Oh, that wasn't good for anybody's.
Not my heart.
Sure, definitely not. But shout out to Grammy, who loves Christian. And she's got a brand new McCaffrey jersey, and she's ready for the playoffs and ready to roll. So shout out to Grammy.
Good. Hopefully you won't have to squeeze that bear too hard.
I know.
Let's see. I remember saying I'll give a shout out to my friend who called about the Sonia Curry interview. I'd like to give her a shout out and a little pump up. She's amazing and she's stronger than she thinks. And I see good things in 2023 for her. So let's go.
I love that. That's what I'm gonna manifest. Yeah. First manifestation of 2023 is that your friend is going to find some joy and find herself this year.
Yes.
I can feel it. And you're going to help her. We are all going to help her. And we're going to help you if you're listening. Let's tease ahead. Nick Bosa's mom, Cheryl,
and Joey Bosa too. Joey and Nick.
And he's got a brother, Joey, who plays for the Chargers. Nick has all but wrapped up the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award, I imagine.
Oh my gosh. Right? If he doesn't get that, I'm going to protest. I'm a little mad, a little bit, and feel snubbed about Christian not making the Pro Bowl. But if that doesn't happen, I'm literally going down to their offices and picketing and rioting. And we are marching. We're getting everybody in the country to do that, to back us up. Because this kid is the Defensive Player of the Year, hands down. Come on.
He's amazing. And Cheryl is amazing. I got to talk to her on the phone for a little bit.
Yes. I've gotten to know her and I love her. Yeah, she's wonderful. So
we see where they get, and I think that will come. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I felt that too. I'm like, I can see this energy. So we've got her on next Thursday. So looking forward to having our first interview of 2023. We'll kick it off with Cheryl Bosa. If you've got any questions for her, any, burning Niners like insights or, manifestations you want, be sure to shoot us a note. Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is Happy New Year. And Lisa,
thank you. You too.
I freaking love you. My girlfriend always says, I love the praise portion of the podcast when you guys both start telling each other how much you love each other. So I'm just going to tell you, it, but I can't say it enough. You were one of the best things that happened to me in 2022. And I'm just excited to be doing this with you.
And I feel the exact same way. Ditto. Seriously, I love you. Thank you. Thanks for setting this up. You are the best.
You are the best. All right. Subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel. No, your mom is the best.
Your mom's the best.
Actually, my mom is pretty great. My mom thinks that we should, by the way, the very last thing, this is the best story. We'll leave you with this best story of all time. So,
I love your mom.
Lisa and Ed come to my Christmas party. You guys were so sweet to drive all the way up from down
I loved every minute
San
of it.
Jose. And we have this little candy cane party.
Yeah, and they had
it was
snow.
It was a while. It was
snow. It was
we
so
do
fun.
this little candy cane neighborhood party every year where we decorate all the trees outside with candy canes.
You guys, it was like a scene from a Hallmark movie. Ed even was, as we're walking up, we're seeing these like beautiful kids in their like matching little, what are those boots? Those hunter boots in their beautiful little outfits. It looked like a storybook, a page of a storybook, just in these gorgeous little homes, And
then you get closer and you realize that like everyone's wasted drinking Fireball and covered in mud.
Snow is like popping out.
It all looks great from afar.
And then you got closer. But they
so
did.
My mom is there.
They all have the same boots. He was in awe.
Yeah. And I think my mom has been nervous to meet you,
oh my God.
You're
so cute.
Just the best. And she was so excited. She's been nervous to come on the podcast. She's coming on in 2023. I'm going to manifest that.
100%.
But she meets you.
Especially after meeting her, she has to be on. She's amazing.
First thing that she says to you is, and I knew she was nervous because I could tell, and I'm like, Mom, this is Lisa. Lisa, this is my mom, Anne. And she goes, oh, I knew it. You guys need to do a full body podcast. You look amazing. You're gorgeous. Like you need to start doing a full body podcast. And I'm like, wait, that's the opening line to Lisa? Like, did you just start hitting on my podcast host, Mom?
You know how amazing,
real good
that opening line was? Can I just tell you, I was flying high. I didn't even care what happened in the game the next day. I was on cloud 9 for a week. That made my week. I love your mom. She couldn't have said anything
She's
better.
Like, the podcast is good, but like we need to see more of you.
That was, and I was wearing my tight hot pants, and you had
fantastic. We both had some hot pants on. I was laughing so hard. And then she said it to Ed, and I think Ed was kind of like, I don't really know what to say.
Like, Ed goes, he said, he's like, oh, yeah, I kind of agree, but I don't know how to respond to this because I don't want to sound like a pervert, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to insult her either. It's like, I don't know, like, yeah. Body pod.
Then we'll get some sponsors. Once we make this a full body podcast, then the sponsors will come.
We'll do it in our bathing suits weekly.
Oh my God. So so my mom's got some good ideas for the show this year too. Shout out to you, Anne. God, I love you. Her. All right. Subscribe, check out our YouTube channel. And most importantly, if you still can, call your mom or call a mom and tell her what she means to you, because that's what this is all about. Lisa, I love you.
Love you
too.
We'll
see you next week with Cheryl Bosa.
Your mom. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.